If you're experiencing stomach issues, including nausea and maybe even vomiting, you've been to the doctor, they've run tests and they're telling you there's nothing medically wrong, well, then this might well be an anxiety-related issue. In this video, I'll be explaining how this happens, what you can do to stop it, and why it really isn't anything you need to be worried about. So let's do it. Hi, I'm Tim Box, a mind coach, and for more than a decade now, I've been helping people manage and overcome anxiety issues. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that many of you have asked about: how anxiety causes stomach issues, including nausea and sometimes even vomiting. Before we get started, if you find this content helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for ongoing anxiety support. Okay. So there are a number of reasons why our stomach issues might find their origins in our anxiety response. Let's break them down one at a time and find out what we can do about it. First up is that thing we talk about a lot on this channel, the fight or flight response. When we experience high levels of anxiety to the point where we start to focus on something our mind perceives to be of threat to us, it triggers the stress response, aka fight or flight. Our body basically starts to get ready for immediate, potentially life-saving action. This activates the sympathetic nervous system. Whilst this is a completely healthy response, even when it happens in a situation where fight or flight seems entirely inappropriate, it can come with some uncomfortable side effects. Because our mind is now prioritizing fast and immediate action over long-term sustenance, our digestive system slows down and becomes disrupted. This is because blood flow is being redirected away from the digestive system to the muscles and vital organs. This bodily shift can lead to symptoms like stomach aches and nausea, which in turn creates discomfort and, in severe cases, even vomiting. So the first reason anxiety can lead to stomach issues isn't strictly speaking caused by anxiety. It's caused by the fear response. Anxiety triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Both of these hormones are designed to facilitate action, but over a protracted period of time, they can have a significant impact on our digestive system. Elevated levels of cortisol, for example, can increase gastric acid, leading to stomach discomfort, indigestion, and nausea. This is because it can irritate the stomach lining and sometimes result in vomiting, especially if the stomach is empty or sensitive. Now, there's nothing malevolent about the production of stress hormones, but it's important to remember that if we're going through an extended phase of high anxiety, it will more than likely impact on our stomach. You've probably heard the stomach referred to as our second brain, and you might even have read about research into solutions to depression and anxiety based on the idea of positively altering our gut biochemistry. What's often referred to as the gut-brain axis is a key player in how anxiety affects our digestive system. Put as simply as possible, this involves two crucial components: the vagus nerve and the enteric nervous system. The vagus nerve runs from the brain to the abdomen and plays a major role in regulating the digestive system. High anxiety can overstimulate the vagus nerve, leading to nausea and other gastrointestinal systems. The enteric nervous system governs the gastrointestinal tract. Once again, anxiety can disrupt its normal functioning, leading to stomach aches and even vomiting. It's important to remember that anxiety is an emotion rather than some sort of illness or ongoing condition. But as with all our emotions, there's some degree of physical response involved. In fact, when most people refer to anxiety, they're talking more about those physical sensations than they are about the actual thoughts that trigger them. In most instances, these physical sensations are, as we've mentioned, a response to fear, not anxiety. What I mean by this is that our anxiety has become so severe and such a concern in itself that it's created a genuine visceral fear of how we're feeling or how we're dealing with life's challenges. Then, of course, we're back to that fight or flight response again. Another effect of fight or flight is a great deal of muscle tension. One of the areas that tenses up the most is the abdominal area. The inevitable overworking of that muscle group can lead to stomach cramps and extreme discomfort. Lastly, we can't overlook the psychological factors involved. When we've experienced high levels of anxiety over an extended period of time, we'll often start to become highly sensitive to bodily sensations. Especially if stomach issues are an effect we've been battling with for a while, we might very well find ourselves subconsciously or even consciously monitoring for those sensations. This can make normal digestive processes feel uncomfortable or painful, exacerbating symptoms like stomach aches and nausea. Before we know it, the anxiety we feel about potential stomach issues has now started to create those issues. In a moment, I'm going to go through the actions we can take to mitigate the effects we've been talking about. But I'm going to pause to let you know that if you're looking for ongoing anxiety support, then why not consider becoming a member of this channel? For just £9 a month, you get access to my Clear Your Head Anxiety Relief Program, the full Control System training series, which teaches you how to make changes in your own patterns of thought and behaviour, as well as weekly members-only live streams, which gives you a much greater level of guidance and support directly from me. Just hit the join button on the homepage. So we've spoken about why these stomach-related physical sensations might occur, but what can we now do with that information to help stop them? So the obvious one to start with is to reduce the amount of stress in your life. We've talked about the impact of stress hormones, so let's do what we can to reduce the cortisol and adrenaline in our system. Simple things like taking time out to relax, whether that's at the end of the day or at weekends. Make conscious decisions to prioritize how much you're doing and how much you're taking on. If you struggle to just switch off, then maybe find a hobby that relaxes you so that you have a positive focus rather than just trying to be less stressed. Secondly, look after your body. Eat healthily and avoid foods you know promote any of those stomach sensations that cause you anxiety. Stay hydrated, as this helps to facilitate a natural, healthy digestive process. If you live a fairly sedentary life, then make time and space in your schedule to move a bit more and engage in regular exercise. But here's the most important tip I can give you. If you're watching this video, it's because the thing that is stressing you the most right now is your concern about your anxiety-related stomach issues. The thing causing you the most anxiety is what's going on with your body and your gut in particular. So the biggest positive change you can make is in how you look at and relate to that issue. If you're in that position where you've sought medical advice and been told this is probably anxiety related, then don't make the mistake of thinking you've tested positive for an anxiety issue. You've actually tested negative for everything. That's great news. Anxiety is just the only thing remaining that could be the problem. But of course, anxiety isn't an illness you're suffering from. It's an emotional response that you can change. The first step to changing it is to recognize that you're not malfunctioning. Your body is doing what it's supposed to do. You've just exaggerated the threat you perceived from this natural process, and as a result, are now creating more of it. Put less focus on any stomach-related sensations because they're not actually posing you any threat. Yes, they might feel uncomfortable, but discomfort always passes. And the discomfort will pass a lot quicker when we stop giving it our energy, when we stop reading things into it that aren't true, and when we stop perceiving an issue that isn't actually there. So I really hope you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who you think might benefit from it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. But that's it for now. I'm Tim Box, Mind Coach. Always remember to be kind to your mind. I'll see you next time.